Hi guys, sorry for the lateness on my webcast this week. This is episode 5 of the Winfield Cup 9 and Panasonic Cup 2 review. Bit to discuss here, some big scores coming out for some players, some absolutely disappointing ones, which is, geez man, it was tough. But we'll get right into it. We'll run down this week's head-to-head, and the Winfield Poms getting done by Peptides, 806 to 1035. Slevin Doves getting a win over Men on Maverick. Surprise win, considering the table. 964 to 946. Sharkies are back, defeating Riddle All-Stars, 981 to 949. Tuco Salamanca getting defeated again by Laney's Lunatics, 936 to 1025. Cowboys Rules OK, getting done by Sloppy Dogs, 925 to 992. The Gazelle, 988, getting towed up by Men of Steel, 1128 in a big game. A big win there for Men of Steel. The G-Bang Dragons, getting done by Barbara Schnoz, 884 to 1042. Silverwater Raiders in another big score, 1124, defeating Harden the Fuck Up, 999. The Pelicans, getting towed up by Blindside at 947 to 1122, another big score. NFI 999 again, got defeated by We Finally Won One at 1028. Couple of big scores. Captains would have been on the agenda again this week, getting the right captain. If you had Rapana as captain, you would have gone mental. But this week Sean Johnson didn't do well, I dare say, for a lot of guys who got under the $1,000 mark. So again, captains won the day today. If you did well done. So we'll go into the top 8 for the Winfield Cup 9, and we see Peptides on top of the competition, up a spot from 2. Obviously on points difference. Blindsided, second, down a spot to second, obviously. Winfield, we finally won. I have trouble writing that whole word sometimes. We finally won one, up 1 to 3. Barbara Schnoz, up 1 to 4. And they're on 6 points. Men on Mavericks on 4 points, on 5 down 2. Men of Steel up 3 and has poked his head into the 8. He's at 6. Laney's Lunatics up 1 from 8 to 7. And Silverwater Raiders up 2 to 8. And again has got into the 8 there with a good win. So they're on 4. And as a number of teams continue on the 4 points down the comp there. So Peptides, good early form, looking to be the first person to win 3 in this in the last 9 years. So see how it goes. Blindsided, we're finally 1-1, keeping it up there with Barbara Schnoz. Predicted they'll go well. Men on Mavericks is the biggest surprise there at 5th. So it's only a couple of rounds in. We hit the draft. And, well, couple of interesting games here in round 6 in draft. Again, it started from round 1. And the Pelicans beating in the end Fluffy Nuffies after a couple of point fluctuations over 2 days. We'll get into that later. 812 to 809. Very close one. Laney's getting done by the G-Bang Dragons, 638 to 740. Harden the Fuck Up, defeating Sloppy Dogs, 765 to 745. Just 20 points in there. NFI, 566, defeated by the Gazelle. Got a win, 738. Men of Steel in a big score, 1001, defeating Cowboys Rules OK, 722. Then that put G-Bang Dragons solely on top still, on 10 points, with 1 loss, my fault. Men of Steel behind him on 8 with the Pelicans. Harden the Fuck Up with 6 points, along with Sloppy Dogs and Cowboys Rules OK. 7th, Fluffy Nuffies, Laney's on 8th, and the Gazelle off the bottom on 9 on position 9 on 4 points, with NFI also because of points difference 10th there on 4 points. So Getting interesting there with G-Bang getting out ahead, early days yet, but it's not the end of the comp at all. It's starting to take a bit of shape though. All right, we'll go into who bowled and who bombed and who was absolutely on fire. And Jordan Rapana, huge score, and I think the person who won the whole round on Supercoach had Jordan Rapana, but the rest of the team apparently were pretty awful. So again, it's all about your captain pick. Unfortunately, Johnson didn't fire. All he needed was one try, and he would have got a decent score. But it's interesting to see what Kieran Foran's doing. Not really Supercoach material, but it could affect Sean Johnson in weeks to come. But again, we'll see how it goes. Who bombed Latrell Mitchell? He's lazy. I watched him on the weekend with the Roosters game. I mean, he watched Walker go past him when they played Manly. Walker just ran past him, didn't even make an attempt. I think first grade might be getting to him. He can do some good things, but I think get rid of him while you can, if you've got him. Absolute bomb. And in a bad way. I don't know what... Yeah, not in a good way. Tuco's bold statement of the week. I didn't get one off him this week. My fault, though. I had a lot going on the last couple of days, so I totally forgot we'll get him back on board next week. Tuco. But from last week's statements, Eels to win by 50, and they got pretty dominated by the Warriors. Corey Norman to ton up. I wish. He was another one. He was lucky Latrell and he got 11, I think. Norman did nothing. And Maguire to be sacked. It's the quite opposite. They won against Penrith, and I tipped the Rabbitohs too. So, none for 3 again there, Tuco. So, we'll get you back on board next week. Saw one actually on the Facebook page, a little bit of a bold prediction, and I reckon he was right. Jarrah Hargraves knees and elbows every time he runs. I mean, he does put his elbow up. He does. So that was correct. I'll give that a big tick. So well done. I'll put a bit of a bold statement in just on the fly here. BJ Leilua to ton up this week. That's my prediction. Facebook sledging by Harden the fuck up, I saw. Good. I mean, you've only got 2 trades every week, and the way this comp's going, you don't know what's going to happen week to week. You don't know who's coming in. I'm quite happy with the money I made during that round, and I got the people in this week who I wanted. So, yeah. So, I mean, if everyone's got their points of view, but I think Robbo was a bit harsh on me then. So, yeah, keep it up, though. I don't mind a bit of a sledge. That's all fun, all in good fun. Now, I was going to get into the points fluctuation. I was watching something today on that, and thanks to I forget the guy who's the boss of Supercoach. They look at they first do the eyes on the game, so they come up with points again. Then it gets reviewed in slow motion, and they apparently do slow mos, like I just said, and they take photos. I mean, it's a real stringent task the next day, and then the apparent board, or the senior figures in Supercoach then review that result. And Joey Leilua he had 3 fluctuations, and that's what we spoke about on the Facebook page over the weekend. He did hit 3. It was 110, then went down to 60, went back to like 80 or 90, I forget now, but yeah, you can't really expect anything after the game, especially not until probably 2 o'clock Monday when they actually do the final results. It's a roller coaster. It really is, and it cost me a few points, and then got me back on board with the Panasonic Cup 2, but it killed me in Winfield Cup 9. It didn't go well for me. The waiver list, on the waiver in Panasonic Cup 2, there are a few guys out there. I mean, there's always going to be there's injuries. There's always going to be new players on the on the list available, especially with free agents on Thursday. I don't know. It depends. You can't have all the guns, obviously, but sometimes a 40 or a 30 can get you home in that competition. It's going to be interesting because you can team trade. So if you see someone else with someone you might want and you see them struggling in another position, you can actually do a team trade. Especially with Origin coming out with the buy rounds. You could do, I don't know, example, obviously, deals where you could have a 5'8" on loan in place of a centre, then trade them back in the following week or whenever you need them back. It's up to you to have that contract. So there could be some inter-team trading over the buys. It's something to look at, guys, in that competition. To keep an eye on each other's teams and see who you might need and put a trade out there. And you can do it. It's pretty easy. Just go on team trades and have a go. It does say, I don't know if I've got to approve it as an administrator, but I'll approve anything. It won't matter to me. I'll let it all go. But I don't want to hear later that someone's not giving back a player. We don't want to go through that crap. So I'm sure everyone's pretty fair in that competition and all that crap won't happen. So it's something to think about later on, or even now if you're struggling in a position, someone's got someone you might want on the bench. Hey, why not? Ask for a trade. So it was a tough round. Good for some, bad for others. The perfect 8, I got 2 this week. Sorry, Gillette and I just put it. Where was it? It was Gillette and Walker. The rest of them sort of failed for me. Not really failed, but this didn't get there. I don't know how everyone else went. I'll have a look. So let us know how you went, guys. I can't really remember. No, BJ didn't get there. Rapana nailed it. So it's a pretty good one. It's up to 155,000. So it's worth just having a bit of a crack at the perfect 8. Put your teams up on, I think it's Friday now. There's no Thursday game. So even Thursday night or Friday morning, because I think it's a 2:00 game. Thursday Friday for the Good Friday clash with Souths and Bulldogs. So it's worth a go for that kind of money anyway. It's free to join. So that's about all this week. It's a little bit shorter than usual, but any content again you might want me to talk about, comment below. Again, any sledging, go for it. Thanks, Scott, for your input last week. I did get one game wrong, and I for some reason I thought they were playing someone else, but they weren't. Thanks for all your replies and let's keep going and let's try and get our scores up because we went down another couple of hundred in the comp there. I think we're at 1803 now with a 968 average, so we'll try and get that back up a bit. Okay, thanks guys, and we'll talk again next week.